always thought I was born in the wrong world. Not because I hated mine, just because it felt too normal. Ever since I was little, I've been obsessed with Resident Evil. Leon Kennedy, the Raccoon City outbreak, Umbrella, all of it. Most people just play the games and move on. But me, I studied them. Every move Leon made, every fight, every reload. I started training when I was 13. At first, it was just dumb kid stuff, copying martial arts from YouTube and pretending my BB gun was a real one. But it grew into something real. I took weekend classes at a rundown dojo outside of town, learned Krav Maga, knife defense, and gun disarming. I bought an old airsoft Glock, repainted it, even practiced tactical reloads in my mirror until it looked natural. My mom said I was wasting my teenage years, but I didn't care. I wasn't trying to impress anyone. I was preparing for something. I didn't know what. Sometimes I'd nick my arm or my side. Nothing deep, just scratches. I told myself it made me tougher. The scars made me look cooler, like a survivor out of the games. They reminded me I wasn't fragile. I know how that sounds. Weird, maybe a little messed up, but to me it made sense. When I looked in the mirror, my long white hair brushed over my shoulders, and those purple eyes stared back, bright, unnatural, and sharp. People said they looked unsettling, but I thought they looked different, like maybe I wasn't just some random kid. School was fine, boring mostly. People knew me as the Resident Evil kid. I got teased sometimes, "Hey Leon 2.0, where's your RPD badge?" Or, "You gonna save us when zombies show up?" I laughed it off, but a part of me liked it. That morning started like every other. Warm sunlight through the blinds, the hum of the TV as I booted up the newest Resident Evil 9, The Abyss Below. I just bought it the night before with all the money I saved from my part-time job at the corner store. The intro cinematic hit hard. Flames, chaos, monsters crawling out of the shadows. I couldn't help but smile. Man, if this was real, I muttered. School was actually good that day. I aced my math quiz, and Josh, my best friend, joked about how my purple eyes made me look like a video game character. Even my teacher smiled when I answered her questions. For once, life felt peaceful. After class, I walked home the long way, past the Redfield research facility. Big white walls, red and white hexagonal logo. It always gave me Umbrella vibes. I even joked once, if zombies ever show up, it's coming from there. I didn't realize how right I was. That day started out just like the others, quiet, normal, almost boring. I got to school early, headphones in, music blasting. The sun was out, people were laughing, and for once, everything felt good. My eyes had that weird shimmer again. I saw it in the window reflection by the bus stop. Faint purple light rippling through the iris like electricity. I blinked, and it faded. Nobody noticed, and I didn't mention it. I didn't want to sound crazy. First period was chill. Josh wouldn't stop teasing me about how I stayed up late gaming again. "Bro, if the zombie apocalypse ever happens, you'll be the first one out there playing hero." I smirked. "Yeah, and you'll be the first one running behind me." We laughed. For a while, it felt normal. Then, halfway through math, the power flickered. Phones buzzed all over the room. Everyone looked down at the same time. Emergency alert. National security warning. Possible coordinated terrorist attacks across several U.S. cities. Shelter in place until further notice. The room went dead silent. Our teacher tried to calm us, but her voice shook. We stayed like that for almost an hour, lights dimmed, everyone whispering theories. Then, just as people started to relax, another alert came in. This time, the tone was different, deeper, slower, more urgent. Emergency alert, CDC warning. Unidentified biological event detected. Individuals displaying violent or cannibalistic behavior have been reported in multiple states. Avoid animals and anyone showing aggression. Josh looked at me, pale. "Dude, what the hell does cannibalistic behavior mean?" I didn't answer. My chest felt tight. The word biological kept echoing in my head. I thought about the Redfield facility, the one with the red and white logo, the one that looked like umbrellas. Outside, Police sirens screamed in the distance. Helicopters cut through the clouds overhead. Then, over the intercom, our principal's voice came on, shaking so hard it barely sounded human. "Students, please remain calm. Lock your classroom doors and stay away from the windows. Do not go outside." A girl in the back started crying. Someone else whispered, "It's just a drill." But then, from outside, a sound broke through the quiet. Not gunfire, not sirens, something else. A howl, deep, ragged, animalistic. And underneath it, I swore I heard screaming. I turned to the window. Down by the sports field, something was moving fast. It slammed into the fence, metal bending like tinfoil. The teachers yelled for everyone to stay away, but I couldn't look away. The thing stood up. Its face wasn't human anymore. Blood dripped from its mouth, eyes rolled white, skin torn and twitching. It tore into the nearest student running across the grass. The room exploded into chaos. Josh grabbed my arm. "We need to go now." I reached for my backpack, not for books, for the gun I'd hidden there months ago, for the moment I'd trained for but never thought would come. And when I looked back out the window, the creature was staring right at me, its dead, milky eyes glowing faintly purple, just like mine. The screaming didn't stop, even after the classroom door slammed shut and the teacher locked it. The sounds from the hallway kept pounding against the silence. Footsteps, claws scraping tile, and that horrible wet tearing noise. There were about 20 of us crammed inside, some crying, some praying. No one dared to move. The lights flickered again, the emergency generator humming weakly. Shadows stretched across the room like black veins. Josh sat next to me, breathing hard. "Kaiju," he whispered. "What's happening, man?" I didn't answer right away. My hands were shaking, even though I trained for moments like this all my life. But this wasn't a game. This was real. From the far side of the room, someone spoke up. A girl. Amelia, I think. She was staring at me, eyes wide. "You always talked about this stuff," she said. "All those survival things. The umbrella crap. You think this is what? Some virus? Like your games?" A few heads turned toward me, then more. I could feel every pair of eyes burning into me. Josh leaned closer. "Kaiju, do you know what's going on?" I looked down at my hands. My reflection in the broken window showed those strange, violet eyes again. Brighter than before, almost glowing in the dark. The flickering light made them shimmer, like something alive was stirring inside me. The teacher tried to calm everyone. "No one knows anything yet. We just stay put until the police arrive." But I could tell she didn't believe that. None of us did. Another sound echoed from the hall. A thud, then another. Something heavy was hitting the lockers, dragging metal. A guy near the door whispered, "Maybe it's help?" The teacher raised a hand, voice trembling. "Stay back." But curiosity kills faster than fear. Someone peeked through the window, just a quick glance. Then he screamed. Blood sprayed across the glass as a hand. No, a claw ripped through and grabbed him. Chaos erupted. People stumbled, fell, shoved against each other, crying and shouting. I froze for half a second, heart pounding, mind racing. Then instinct kicked in. I pulled the small pistol from my backpack, aiming at the shattered door. Josh's voice cracked behind me. "Kaiju, where did you get?" "Doesn't matter," I shouted. The creature pushed through the door frame, its jaw hanging loose, eyes rolling in their sockets. It reeked of death. Its tongue was black, dripping with blood. And then it stopped. It looked right at me, not at anyone else, just me. His body twitched, head cocked to the side like it recognized me. "Kaiju," Josh whispered, backing up. "Why is it looking at you like that?" I didn't answer, couldn't, because when I saw its eyes, those faint, glowing purple eyes, I realized it was the same color as mine. Everyone was staring now, and deep down, I think they already knew. The air in the classroom felt like it was vibrating. The thing at the door finally collapsed, its body twitching once before going still. The smell of metal and sweat hung thick. No one spoke at first. They just looked at me, at my still-raised pistol, at the dead thing that hadn't touched me. Then whispers started. How did he know how to shoot like that? Why didn't it attack him? His eyes. They're the same color. Stop, I said, voice low. We need to stay quiet. But fear doesn't listen. Fear spreads. Josh stepped closer, uncertain. Kaiju, you trained for this. You knew what to do. Why? Before I could answer, a kid near the back snapped. Because he's one of them. Someone grabbed my arm. Another yanked my sleeve. Fabric tearing. The panic turned physical. Everyone trying to see something that would make sense of what they'd just witnessed. Let go. I shoved one off, but they kept pressing in, clawing, ripping at my hoodie until it hung in shreds. The scars caught the emergency light, thin lines crossing my shoulders, my ribs, my chest. Marks I'd made years ago to feel tougher, to look like the heroes I admired. Gasps filled the room. Look at him, a girl whispered. He wanted to look like them. The eyes, the scars. He's not normal. You knew this was coming, didn't you? I took a step back, chest heaving. No, it's not like that. I'm not. Josh's voice cut through, trembling. Then why, Kaiju? Why all the training? Why the guns, the scars? The obsession with Umbrella? I opened my mouth, but nothing came out. I didn't have an answer that would calm them, because deep down, I didn't even know myself. I'd always felt different. The strange eyes, the instincts, the way pain never seemed to last long. The games weren't just fiction to me. They felt like memories from someone else's life. Outside, another howl tore through the storm, closer this time. The lights flickered again. Everyone stared at me like I was the infection. And for the first time, I wasn't sure they were wrong. The intercom kept looping the same static-filled warning. Stay inside. Lock the doors. This is not a drill. Then silence. We were locked in the classroom. Desks piled against the door. Phones dead. The world outside screaming. A girl near the back was crying, whispering, "They're biting people like animals." My best friend, Juno, turned toward me. His voice shook. Kaiju, you knew something like this would happen, didn't you? Everyone's eyes snapped toward me. What? I stammered, backing against the wall. You trained for this. You always talk about guns and virus stuff, man. Resident Evil, Umbrella. What if that's why? I didn't answer. My heart pounded like it was trying to escape my ribs. Someone tore at my jacket in panic. My shirt ripped, exposing the scars that ran across my chest and arms. Whispers filled the room. He's one of them. Look at his eyes. They're glowing. Then, boom, the door blew off its hinges. Smoke rolled in. Through it, a man walked. Black suit, dark shades, moving like a ghost through the chaos. Albert Wesker, the same man from the games I grew up idolizing. Except this one breathed. He looked right at me. Fascinating. So you did survive, he said softly. Every word cut like glass. What are you talking about? I shouted. He smiled faintly. You think you were just born with those eyes? Something in me snapped. My pulse burned purple through my veins. The room started to warp, light bending around me like heat waves. And then, another figure stepped through the smoke. A leather jacket, a familiar stance, the faint smell of gunpowder. Leon S. Kennedy. But he wasn't pointing his gun at Wesker. He was pointing it at me. Don't move, kid, he said. You have no idea what's inside you. The room spun. The world of Resident Evil wasn't fiction anymore. And somehow I was part of it. I stumbled backward, breath ragged, staring between them. Leon and Wesker, two names that were supposed to exist only on a screen, stood in front of me like they'd stepped out of a nightmare and into the real world. This isn't real, I muttered, shaking my head. You're video game characters. You don't exist. Wesker tilted his head, amused. You believe that because they told you it was fiction. Umbrella needed a cover story. The games, the movies, all distractions. That's insane. I hissed, backing toward the window. You're not real. Leon's eyes hardened. Kid, if this wasn't real, your city wouldn't be burning outside that window. I glanced out. Flames stretched across the horizon, sirens blaring, smoke blackening the sky. The sound of screams carried on the wind. What did you do to me? I asked. Why do I feel like this? Why are my eyes? Wesker took a slow step closer, the glass beneath his boots crunching. You were engineered, Kaiju. Not by me, not even by Umbrella, but by something that thought it could make perfection. His hand reached toward me, gloved fingers gleaming in the flickering light. Leon aimed his gun. Don't touch him, Wesker smirked. Still playing the hero, I see. That's when I ran. The gunfire erupted behind me, glass shattering, walls splintering. I threw myself through the hallway doors and sprinted down the smoke-filled corridor, the alarms blaring louder than my heartbeat. My body moved differently, faster, sharper. Every motion felt unnatural, like something inside me was helping. Outside, the air reeked of ash and rot. Bodies twisted in the street, torn open, eyes clouded with infection. The virus was real, and so were they. I stopped at the corner of a burning intersection, trying to catch my breath. My reflection stared back from a shattered car window. Pale skin, glowing purple eyes pulsing like veins of light. For the first time, I didn't look human. I whispered to myself, trembling, if they're real, then what does that make me? Somewhere behind me, I heard Wesker's voice echo through the smoke. Come home, Kaiju. It's time you learned what you were made for. I turned and ran into the fire, because I wasn't going home. Not yet. Not until I learned who was real, and who had written me into this nightmare. The smoke was still thick in the hallway. Leon stood amid the wreckage, his pistol still warm in his hand. The classroom was empty now. Only the sound of alarms and fire filled the silence. Wesker adjusted his gloves, unbothered, his sunglasses somehow untouched by the chaos. You let him get away, he said calmly. Leon shot him a glare. He's a kid, Wesker. You don't hunt a 16-year-old like an animal. He's not a child, Wesker replied, voice sharp as glass. He's data, living proof that Umbrella's legacy didn't die with Raccoon City. Leon's jaw tightened. You said that before back in Europe, that the games, the stories, all of it wasn't fiction. Wesker turned toward the shattered window, staring out at the burning skyline. Did you really think a corporation that powerful would admit to creating bioweapons that nearly ended the world? He chuckled. Umbrella funded those games themselves. They let the public believe it was entertainment, because fear sells better when it's fiction. Leon lowered his gun slowly. So Kaiju, what is he? A clone? Some experiment that slipped through the cracks? Wesker didn't answer right away. He pressed his fingers to his earpiece, listening to distant chatter, search teams, helicopters sweeping the perimeter. Then softly, he's a prototype, the last one designed from my bloodline, before the collapse. Leon's eyes widened. You mean he's my successor? Wesker interrupted. A genetic backup, programmed for perfection, until they lost control of him. Leon cursed under his breath. And now he's just out there, in a city full of infected, thinking we're both video game characters. Wesker's lips curved into a smirk. Let him run. The virus inside him will wake soon enough. Then he'll come to us. Leon holstered his gun, looking out the window at the chaos below. You're wrong about one thing, he said quietly. If that kid turns into anything like you, I'll put him down myself. Wesker turned his head, eyes gleaming faintly behind the lenses. You'll try. The two men stood there for a long moment, two ghosts from a story that was never supposed to be real, before vanishing into the smoke to find the boy who shouldn't have existed. The city was gone. Not destroyed, infected. Every street burned. Every alley echoed with that wet, hungry sound of teeth and screams. I ran until my legs felt like they'd split open, until my lungs burned from smoke and ash. The air itself felt wrong, heavy, warm, almost alive. I ducked into a half-collapsed electronics store, shattered screens still glowing faintly in the dark. My reflection stared back from a cracked TV. Pale face, glowing eyes, streaks of soot across my skin. I grabbed a radio off the counter, hoping to hear anything human. Clicked, buzzed, then came alive. Containment breach confirmed. Umbrella Biohazard Division. Target priority, codename Kaiju. Subject exhibits accelerated regeneration and unknown viral resonance. My blood went cold. That was me. I turned the dial again, heart hammering. Static. Then a voice. Calm. Too calm. To the survivors of Raccoon City, Madrid, Tokyo, and now Havenview, you believed our stories were fiction. You called them games. You called us monsters. You were right about one of those. I froze. That voice, smooth, mocking, familiar. Wesker, the world loves entertainment. We gave you truth disguised as fantasy. And while you played, we rebuilt. Every virus, every experiment, refined through data collected from millions of simulations. The boy you call Kaiju is the final model, the bridge between human error and genetic divinity. I backed away from the radio like it was poison. He was broadcasting this to everyone. The world was hearing it. I smashed the device against the floor, my hands shaking. The glass shattered, the sound echoing through the dark. Somewhere outside, I heard footsteps. Precise, heavy, trained. Kaiju, a voice called softly. It's Leon. You're not safe here. I didn't move. Part of me wanted to believe him. The other part whispered that he was part of it. He stepped into view, gun lowered, his jacket torn, dirt on his face. He looked more human than he ever did in the games. Everything they told you about Umbrella, he said quietly, was true, but Wesker's not the only one left. Then who am I? I asked. Leon's eyes flickered. For a moment I thought I saw guilt. You're what comes after us. The floor shook. A low rumble rolled through the streets, the sound of a chopper landing somewhere nearby. Leon's head snapped toward the noise. Move, he barked. They found you. He grabbed my arm, pulling me toward the back exit. I wanted to fight him off, but part of me, that strange, instinctive part, knew he wasn't lying. Outside, the sky glowed red from fire and something worse. Shapes moved in the haze, not quite human anymore. Leon handed me a pistol. Point and shoot. You've seen me do it 1,000 times in those games. Now let's see what you learned. I gripped the weapon. For the first time in my life, the fiction I loved was gone, replaced by a reality I was born into. And I hated it. The rain came too late. It hissed against the fires, turned the smoke into steam, and painted the streets in red and black. Leon moved like he'd done this 100 times before. Gun drawn, eyes scanning every shadow. I stayed close behind, trying to quiet my breathing. Every alley sounded alive. Where are we going? I asked. He didn't look back. To people who can help you. People? You mean like Claire? The name hit like a memory I shouldn't have. I'd played those games so many times I could almost hear her voice from a loading screen. But this wasn't a game. We reached an overturned bus, its windows shattered and streaked with blood. Leon crouched, checked underneath, then waved me through. He still moved with that same cold precision, but his hands shook when he reloaded. He wasn't invincible. We climbed through a hole in a fence and into an underground parking garage. A single emergency light glowed in the distance, and under it stood a woman with a red jacket and a pistol drawn. Claire Redfield. Real. Breathing. She aimed straight at me. Leon. Who the hell is this? Stand down, Leon said quickly. He's the kid from the Umbrella broadcast. The one Wesker's after. Her eyes widened. You brought him here? He didn't give me much of a choice, Leon muttered. I stepped forward. Wait, how do you all know me? Why is everyone talking like I'm some experiment? Claire lowered her gun just a little. Because you are. The words hit harder than any bullet. She looked at Leon, then back at me. Umbrella left a file on you before they went dark. You're not a clone, Kaiju. You're something different. The virus didn't destroy you. It obeyed you. Leon leaned against a pillar, wiping blood from his sleeve. Wesker wants that control. He thinks he can use you to rewrite the human genome. I swallowed hard. And what happens if he gets me? Claire holstered her weapon. Then the world ends. For real this time. The sound of rotors cut through the silence. A helicopter. Claire's eyes snapped upward. We need to move now. Leon grabbed my arm again, pulling me toward the stairwell. Stay low and don't look back. As we ran, I caught a glimpse through the cracks in the ceiling, floodlights slicing through the smoke, silhouettes dropping down from ropes. Umbrella wasn't done with me yet, and for the first time I didn't know if I was running from them or from myself. We made it to the rooftops, the city burning below us like a dying star. Rain soaked through my clothes. Helicopters circled in the distance, their searchlights slicing through the smoke like blades. Leon stopped near the edge, scanning the skyline. Claire crouched beside a rusted vent, reloading her pistol. I just stared at them, at two people who shouldn't even exist. Finally, I said it. How is Umbrella still operating? They both looked at me. In the games, I continued, Umbrella gets destroyed. You all took them down. That's how it ends. So how are they still here? Leon sighed and leaned against a pipe. The look in his eyes wasn't the cool confidence I'd seen in the games. It was something heavier. They were never gone, he said. Claire glanced up. The company went underground. Changed names. Changed faces. Neo Umbrella, Tricell, Blue Umbrella. They're all just fragments of the same monster. Leon nodded. Every time we thought we burned it down, someone rebuilt it. Smaller, smarter. By the time people stopped believing in bioweapons, the world had already invited them back. Medical tech, bioenhancements, vaccines. It was all Umbrella research under new logos. He looked straight at me. And the games? That was the final layer of the cover-up. They turned our lives into entertainment so the truth would die laughing. I couldn't breathe for a second. My chest felt hollow. So you're saying that everything you played, Leon said quietly, actually happened? The words echoed in my skull until they didn't sound real anymore. I laughed. A broken sound that didn't feel like it came from me. That's insane. You're telling me I spent my whole life playing history and didn't even know it? Claire's voice softened. You weren't supposed to know, Kaiju. No one was. But Wesker, he doesn't want to stay hidden anymore. Why me? I asked. Why now? Leon's gaze hardened again. Because you're proof he never lost. You're the next generation of his experiment. A loud thud echoed from below. Metal boots on concrete. Umbrella soldiers. Leon drew his pistol. Conversation's over. We move. He motioned toward a maintenance ladder on the far side of the roof. The wind howled, carrying the distant screams of the infected. As I climbed down, I looked back one last time at the skyline. The glowing corporate logos, the chaos, the world collapsing under its own lie. Umbrella wasn't dead. It had just changed its mask. And somewhere beneath that mask, Wesker was still watching me. We reached the safe house just before sunrise. It wasn't much, a half-buried subway station hidden beneath what used to be the Havenview Metro. The tunnels were sealed with metal shutters, humming faintly with power from a backup generator. Claire keyed in a long passcode, and the steel door hissed open. Inside, rows of computers lined the walls, old Umbrella terminals blinking weakly. Files, maps, and weapons, a lot of them. Leon holstered his gun and leaned against the wall, exhaling for the first time since we left the rooftop. Claire tossed me a bottle of water. I didn't realize how thirsty I was until I started shaking. For a few minutes, no one said anything. Just the sound of the generator and the faint drip of water echoing through the tunnel. Then I asked the question that had been clawing at me since they told me Umbrella wasn't gone. Is Nemesis still alive? Leon froze. Claire looked away. I saw him in the games, I said. That thing, the coat, the tentacles, the rocket launcher, he's real too, isn't he? Leon's voice was low, almost tired. He was real. One of the original Tyrant class BOWS designed to hunt down STARS members. He glanced at Claire. You remember the reports out of Raccoon City? She nodded slowly. It wasn't just one. There were prototypes. Umbrella tried to recreate Nemesis dozens of times. Some were destroyed. Some vanished. I swallowed hard. Vanished. Leon pushed off the wall and walked to one of the terminals. He typed a few commands, the old system crackling to life. A file appeared. Project Nemesis, status. Classified/active. My blood turned to ice. It says active, I whispered. Claire walked over, resting a hand on my shoulder. That doesn't mean he's alive, Kaiju. It means someone's still using the name. Leon looked at the screen like it was staring back at him. Wesker's rebuilding the old bioweapons. Nemesis wasn't just a creature. It was a program, a control system for the virus. He turned toward me, his voice colder now. If Wesker has your DNA, Kaiju, he can make Nemesis stronger, smarter. He can make it you. I stepped back, shaking my head. No, that's not. But before I could finish, the lights flickered. Then the generator cut out. A siren wailed softly through the tunnels, a sound older than the city itself. Leon's hand went straight to his gun. They found us. Claire looked toward the far end of the tunnel. A red light pulsed in the dark, steady, rhythmic. Footsteps echoed closer, slow, heavy, each one deeper than the last. I didn't need to see it to know. Some nightmares never stay dead. The siren wailed once, then died out, leaving only the hum of silence. For a second, I thought it was over, just another blackout. Then I felt it, a pulse, like my heartbeat but not inside my chest. It was deeper, resonating in the floor, in the walls, in the air. The emergency lights flickered red. My reflection in the cracked monitor shimmered. My pupils weren't human anymore. They were glowing violet, the color shifting like liquid mercury. Kaiju. Claire's voice shook a little. What's happening to your eyes? I don't know. My voice came out wrong, layered, echoing like there were two of me speaking at once. Leon moved closer, cautiously, one hand hovering near his holster. Listen, kid, calm down. Breathe. You've been exposed to something. But I couldn't breathe. The air around me moved, vibrating as cracks spidered across the terminal screens. Static hissed through the speakers even though the power was still out. Then the old umbrella monitor flared to life by itself, showing dozens of faces, files, DNA strands. Every single one marked with Project K, 9U///subject. Kaiju Wesker. Leon's face went pale. Wesker made a contingency, he muttered. He didn't clone Nemesis. He cloned himself. I stumbled back, gripping the table, but when my fingers touched the metal, it bent, like it was clay. The lights flickered again. Only this time, they pulsed with my heartbeat. The whole safe house shook, and dust rained from the ceiling. What's happening to me? I shouted. Leon raised his voice over the chaos. He embedded part of his own genome into the virus. Into you. You're the key to stabilizing it. Claire was already grabbing her weapon. Leon, he's not turning. He's evolving. I could feel it. My muscles tightening, veins burning like molten wire under my skin. Something inside me wanted out. Something that wasn't human, but wasn't completely monster either. Leon stepped forward, calm but tense. Kaiju, if you can hear me, fight it. Don't let him control you. My vision flickered. I saw flashes of faces, memories that weren't mine. A man in sunglasses, smiling as glass shattered behind him. A voice in my head whispered, "You were never meant to be them, Kaiju. You were meant to replace them." The last thing I saw before collapsing was Leon's expression, a mix of fear and realization. He wasn't looking at me like a kid anymore. He was looking at me like a weapon,